Hello everyone, this is Randy here again. Another episode of Farming Simulator 2013. And we are playing on northeast Iowa, where the planting continues. Just had to fill up the seeder here. Got a little bit more of the field to go. I did finish planting up the corn field from last episode, so that field is all set. And we need to fertilize that field yet, so hopefully once we finish planting this field, it shouldn't take too long, I don't think. Find out, I guess. And then we'll go fertilize that field. Yeah, you definitely tend to run out of the fertilizer first on this seeder, long before the seeds tend to run out. It's usually about 4,000 or 5,000 seeds left. That's usually what I end up with, and I am turning off the fertilizer at the end of the row each time. But yeah, it still definitely uses more fertilizer than seed. I could hire a worker for this. I thought about it. It's like, you know what? In the end, it's probably almost just about as quick for me to do it myself. Because, yeah, a hired worker with a seeder, it doesn't necessarily always work. Ends up being a little derpy. I've still been looking at additional maps for the next season. I haven't really made a sure decision yet. I do want to try adding the soil mod to a map and see how that goes. And if that does go okay, that might open up my my choice of maps a little bit. Because right at the moment, I definitely do want to play with a map that has the soil mod on it. Whether it's either I add it or it's already there. I mean, obviously, preferably it's already there, but the number of maps that actually have it there are pretty limited at this point. Let's see. Can we get all of this? Not quite. Oh well. I think we'll just skip that little bit there. Not the end of the world. Now maybe it is for some of you people with the OCD, but in some regards I may have that, but in some regards I don't. So I'm leaving it. So yeah, hopefully this weekend I'm going to have a chance. I'm going to, pick a map I relatively like, or something that doesn't have the soil mod on it, and try adding it. And we'll see how it goes. Read through the directions a couple times now again. Kind of, familiarize myself with what's going on. It's pretty similar to adding multi-fruit to a map, so pretty much the same type of thing going on. Basically got your three sets there. You got your files, your materials, and your foliage layers. So now the biggest thing to watch is the IDs between all of them are the same. They all reference each other, so, and that they don't overlap with another ID from another file or material or foliage layer. One map I was considering too was the MIG map. That's a relatively nice looking map. The only trouble is that one does have the weed mod built into it. So if I add the soil mod to it, I do believe I have to remove the weed mod. So that might be a lot of fun if I actually have to remove the weed mod. Alright, by a lot of fun I mean not a lot of fun. Yeah, I can definitely tell this planter takes a lot of seed and fertilizer. So yeah, for the next season, we're going to be going blue. So yeah, if folks have any good blue mods to try out, let me know. Off the top of my head, I know there's New Holland, Ford. I think that's about all the blue that I know of. We might have to mix a little red and green in there too, but for the most part, I'm going to try to stick with the blue theme. We'll see how that goes. One thing I would like to try to find too is maybe some older New Hollands. I think at the moment most of my New Hollands are like really new. So, see if I can find a couple older ones. And like I said, my plan is we're going to do 2 more harvests on this map. That's what I'm thinking. So, we're almost up to the first harvest here. So yeah, probably after this episode I'll be fast-forwarding time to, whatever it takes to get the harvest ready. And we'll start combining harvesting. So yeah, probably another half a dozen episodes or so, I'm thinking. Give or take a little bit. It might vary a little bit too here. We'll be pretty busy the next week or so, so if I'm going to be busy, I'll probably just keep playing on this map. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Speaking of busy, there might be a couple of days without videos here over the next week or so. See how that goes. I did, about a week ago, recorded up a Minecraft video. My base on the New Horizons server I have. I got a Reactor Craft reactor up and running, so you guys might like to see that. So yeah, those days, maybe if I don't get a chance to do a video, maybe I'll put that up. And yeah, I'll let you guys in on a little inside secret. It did blow up, so should be good. Unfortunately, I did not get it captured on camera blowing up. And that will do it for that field. Okay. Let's turn that seeder off. And we'll head up to the shop. That's where I've been parking all my equipment, at the shop. Or actually, the field next to the shop, I should say. Yeah, we got a lot of articulated red tractors laying around here. Speaking of articulated red tractors, there is still one more I probably should buy yet. I believe it was Matt who wanted me to get a dual-wheeled Steiger. I've got a tripled, so we can get a dual-wheeled one yet. We're gonna have lots of red tractors running around here. Yeah, I could not figure out what was going on with my reactor. It kept blowing up all the time. I saved a backup of the world, so I kept having to restore it. I finally put a chunk loader down. It's like, I wonder if something's going on with the chunks loading and unloading. And I believe that was the case, because once I had a chunk loader down, I have not blown up the reactor once. So I don't believe there's any real major flaw in my design. It's just the fact, I think it's got something to do with chunks loading and unloading. Something there was causing it not to like it and caused the reactor to blow up. So, yep, got our Keen's planters parked here. Now I did have them rotated, so that's probably. And for you guys that have never seen this, they do rotate a little bit a little bit funny. So M to rotate, I believe it is. Yes. I'll just get the other one here too, so it's not in the way. You can get not that one. You guys can kind of see what it looks like when they rotate. Now I have seen these planters in real life, so this is actually how they rotate. The only difference is they don't rotate quite like this. They rotate and they are like way up in the air, so they're up above the hitch here. This is real. They do rotate like this. They're just not on the ground like this. They actually stand up a lot more. And I'm not sure if the ones I've seen are actually a Keen's 3600 or... I don't remember what size they were. I'd like to say it was 16 rows, which is what I believe these are, so... Yeah, it's just they stand up way higher when they rotate. They rotate up, and then they are, you know, in line with the tractor, so you can pull it down the road nice. Okay, let's grab a sprayer. Now, we did have the Rotogator. We tried that out. That worked pretty good. We're going to go up a little bit bigger, though. And while we're here, let's check out dual-wheeled Steigers. I think that's in-game one. Got a Case Steiger 500 EP AFS. Sounds fancy. I have no idea what all that means. We also got a Case Steiger 600. And we got a Case Steiger 400. Interesting. Okay. Let's just see how much that fertilizer cost. Oh, Kenworth, that would be an interesting one to try too. It's not the one I was going to go with, but yeah, Agrifact Condor. We'd give that a try, and just make for double sure. I believe I've tested I've tested this mod, so it shouldn't be a problem. Forgot I had this one here. Should really give that one a try. Commonly see this type out where I live. See these big trucks out fertilizing the field. Maybe we'll give that a try next time we plant. I believe the width on this one was 40 meters, if I remember correctly. Just my initial impressions, I think it's just a reskin of the in-game one. That's my prediction here. But hey, it's red, so it matches our color scheme. Let's see here. Oh, we got 4x4, and it's on. Okay. Let's grab some fertilizer here first. Yep, this is definitely the in-game sprayer. Just changed it out on the textures. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I mean, the in-game one was definitely a nice looking sprayer, so looks like they've done a nice job of modeling it, at least, or texturizing it at least. Although I will have to say, I think the steering is a little different. Maybe that's just my impression, but sure seems that way. And while they're on sale, let's see once here. Do we want a 600 or 500? I'm not sure if there's any difference, actually. Hey, you know what? We need lots of horsepower. Let's get the 600. Why not? Let's see. I'm going to say, is that the in-game one? I think the tires are different. That's my thoughts. Yeah, I believe the tires are different. On that looks like the in-game one. Pretty much all these Case Steigers do, though. Kind of, disappointing about that, but oh well. Okay, I'm assuming everything here is going to be the same, too, the way it folds out. Yeah, I'll have to say that is definitely the in-game one. Everything looks the same, folds out the same. Just out of curiosity, I wonder if that'll work. All these different sections kind of concern me. Yeah, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think you got a blue one on the end and a green one should be on the other end here. I don't think that green one should be there. Definitely marking all the sections, though. You can definitely see that. Not sure why there's multiple. Looks like there's multiple sections over on this side here. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah, one of the advantages of this sprayer over the fertilizer, it actually uses less than the fertilizer spreader does. That's really the only reason you want to use this over the fertilizer spreader. Just the way Farming Sim works. Of course, the pellet fertilizers are pretty much easier to use because you don't have to worry about crashing into stuff. This, on the other hand, you don't have to worry about your arms getting in a tree or who knows what. Now, I did plant some nice wide strips of grass all the way around, so I think I'm okay. Well, that's interesting. Don't turn too fast, apparently. Yeah, wasn't going to bother planting this field here. Kind of a pain in the butt to harvest that one. Got that loop that goes back behind there. Behind the barn on the other side of the hill there, basically. I think we're going to need more fertilizer for this field. Oh, what was it, 42,000? Not 42, 4,200. Already down to 3. We're basically halfway around the field. Also, I wasn't going to bother planting the big field in the back there. Wasn't going to bother with that one. Going to plant the 4 I've got planted so far and call it good. After all, there's a lot of crops on just these 4 fields, especially this one and then the one in the back corner there. We just finished planting. And yeah, obviously I planted a lot of grain crops this time, the oats and the wheat. Hopefully we get a lot of straw. Like I showed you guys that last episode, of all the straw bales I had, and I had quite a pile there, I've used a bunch of them already, so. Okay, who parked our tractor along the side of the field there? Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, you know, where pellet fertilizer definitely has the advantage. I have to watch I don't whack my tractor here. While still attempting to get the majority of the field. There we go. Gee, okay, yeah. I can raise and lower this thing down if I want to. Well, that does go down a long ways. Yeah, it looks kind of funny being that low. Don't think I've ever seen them go that low before. Not saying they can, I've just never seen them actually use it that low, I should say. I know from what I've seen, they usually tend to keep them, you know, somewhat low. I'm assuming, you know, to minimize the amount of wind loss from the wind blowing the spray around. Yep, we're definitely going to have to fill this up again, aren't we? Also, that wheat, you can see that's already come up over there. I planted that day earlier than everything else here, so that should be ready to harvest a little bit quicker than the rest of the stuff. I noticed the straw bales are going through pretty quick, so it's like, I better hurry up and get a field planted here so I can have straw. I have to say I've had a lot of fun with that this episode, though, baling all the straw and grass and silage. It's yeah, it's been a lot of fun doing that. Now, generally speaking, I haven't done a whole lot of baling in farming sim. Well, I have, but I haven't. I've done some, but not a lot. And this is, we've definitely gone large scale with our baling on this map. Producing a lot of bales. I should check. I wonder if that bale, does that give a total count of all the bales I've ever made with it? Because that would be interesting to know. If it does, we made a lot of bales, I'm guessing. Out of curiosity, what do we got for cow feed at the moment? Look, we still got 433,000. That's right. I gotta keep remembering to sell that. Maybe when I'm speeding up time for the crops to grow, I'll try to remember to do that. Of course, at the same time I'm speeding up crops, I'll be making more of it. Oh boy. We got 331,000 mixed rations. I'm still curious what it's going to take to actually fill that up to 100, or not 100%, but you know, the 6-day total. And then the straw, we got 322,000. So that's a lot of straw there too. Pretty much about the same amount. Yeah, it's definitely been a lot of straw bales in there. I believe it takes about a 24-hour time period, and the manure pit there for the solid one is full. We actually haven't not filled up the liquid one yet. Capacity there, I believe, is 1 million, so we haven't actually filled that up yet, surprisingly. Yeah, just because of the shape of this field, I'm not bothering with the GPS mod. Kind of hard to use the GPS mod on fields like this. That's the next thing they need to come out with, a GPS mod that'll actually do around the corners and curves and all that fancy stuff. Oh boy, we're almost out of spray. I'm noticing though, you turn quickly with this thing and it does miss the spots there. I don't remember if that's something the in-game one does or not. Not that I recall, but maybe it does. Something, if I get a chance, maybe I'll have to try that out. Oh, it's got in-game sound. Nice. That's definitely something they've added. Okay, so we do just about have the field fertilized. That's not too bad. Got a lot closer than what I thought we would there. Yeah, like I said, the this type of fertilizer goes a lot farther than the pellet. Okay, well, we're here. Let I see this out here. Just take this around to the sell point again and sell some more crap. And I do mean crap. Oops. Always makes me wonder, is it actually unloading? Yes, it is. Just kind of wait for that pipe in the back there to go down, and then it will actually start unloading. Yeah, look at that. Nasty. And on that note, folks, I think we'll call it an episode there. So, if folks have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them below. And we'll hopefully come back next episode and do some harvesting. So, till next time.